Shalom Aleichem, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Good Erev Shabbos. We are at Parshat Emor this week, and I have the privilege of wearing this special green, obviously, Chavat Shabbos Kodesh, Chavat Am Yisrael. And in particular, I want to share a beautiful message from our Parsha. There are a couple of key ideas I think that come up in Emor, and I want to focus on really, I think, two different ideas that really are, in my opinion, overlapping and very similar. The first idea comes in the middle of Shlishi, where Akash Baruch Hu is mentioning to us in the Torah, or telling us in the Torah, different things that we are supposed to do or not supposed to do, like having, not shechting a mother and her son or daughter calf the same day. And then the Pasuk says something fascinating. After mentioning, what you should not leave over to the next morning, the Pasuk in Pasuk on Bet, it says, you shall guard my mitzvot and shall do them. I am Hashem your God. Ani Hashem, or I am Hashem. And then in Pasuk on Bet, v'lo techalu et shem kadshi v'nikdashti b'toch b'nei Yisrael ani Adonai mekadeshchem. Don't defile my kadosh or holy name, sanctified name. And I will become sanctified b'toch, among or through Am Yisrael. I am Hashem who sanctifies you. Beautiful idea. Beautiful concept. What does this mean? What does this pasuk talk about? The Torah is telling us that in particular, we have a unique opportunity, a unique responsibility to sanctify Hashem's name in this world. And just like Hashem sanctifies us, and we have opportunities to go out and sanctify His name, that is what we were supposed to do. And as the pasuk beforehand had mentioned, we shall sanctify His name. How? By guarding His commandments and doing them. Those are two of the ways that we're able to accomplish this very act. It's very important that we know how to behave properly. It's very important that we follow through with what Am Yisrael's mission is. To be this Or L'Goyim, to be a light unto the nations, is not. On a side point, it's funny when people always comment, going be mezalzel, you're calling us bad names. We are supposed to be a mamlechet kohanim v'goy kadosh. We're supposed to be a sanctified nation. And we're supposed to act in a way, behave in a way, and follow through and show the light to the world of how a person is supposed to act. What is Hashem actually is mitzapeh from us? What is He looking for? Right, so in Perek Chaf Bet, of Pasuk on Bet, we were in the middle of explaining what does it mean to be kadosh or to not cause a chilul Hashem. So the Ramban, based on what he had said earlier in the Parsha, he says that kedusha is to be harush, to separate even from things that are mutter. One of the unique things about Am Yisrael is that we don't measure ourselves by what we don't do only. Great, I'm glad we don't go and murder people. I'm glad we don't go and steal. I'm glad we don't go eat fill in the blank. There are things that are permissible to us, and we have to learn balance. We have to learn self-control, that even things that are mutter are not always great. The fact we have the money and we have the ability to go and do X does not necessarily mean we should go and do it. The fact that I have space in my belly to eat 15 hamburgers does not mean I should go and eat 15 hamburgers, even if I washed, even if I'm going to bench afterwards, etc. Balance. But then the Ramban, by our pasuk, says an additional point. He connects this to the pasuk that comes along with Gimel, that Hashem says, "Hamotzi etchem me'eretz Yisrael liot lachem leElohim ani Adonai." I am the God, or the one who took you out of Mitzrayim to be for you a God. I am Hashem your God, or I am Hashem. I.e., the Ramban says the whole reason we were taken out of Mitzrayim was for us to be an Am, His nation. And what does that mean to be His nation? What does that mean to be His Am? That means to keep the Torah mitzvos. We were taken out of Mitzrayim for a purpose, for a unique purpose. In line with this, or something interesting that the Baal HaTurim points out, is that one of the ways that we bring the Kedusha to Hashem is not just by the what we do, it's the how we do it. And in particular, he points out that the way we are showing forms of Kedusha is through us on the Moadim and having Hallel and davening to Kadosh Baruch Hu. Barov HaMadrash Melech. The more we come together, the more Kedusha we bring to Hashem. As well, the Ibn Ezra had mentioned something fascinating. that specifically, with regards to Hashem taking us out of Egypt, that it's important for us to realize and to remember at all times that these were times shekrivu behem ha'olot v'achal me'Shabbat. That starting from Shabbos is when we get these commandments. I.e., what I took away from the Ibn Ezra was that there was a time period when our Kedusha really started from, and that infuses everything else we do. Shabbos Kodesh, how special, how unique. In my mind, this idea of us being a Am Kadosh is significant. It's powerful. It's palatable. We have so much we can do to bring sanctity and Kedusha to Hashem. Like the Ramban says, not just by what we don't do, but also what we can do in holding back. And realizing, in particular, that we have unique opportunities, especially nowadays when we are seen around the world as who knows what, when people are just anti-Semitic for God knows what reason. It is our opportunity and our responsibility to be that light and to show people who we are, what we represent. It's not just ourselves, it's us representing Hashem. And we have to do a good job, not just a good job, but we have to do a much better job and an excellent job at showing not just the non-Jewish people, but even our own fellow brothers and sisters who are lost, who are confused, who don't understand what we are, what we represent. That we represent Kedusha, that we represent holiness, sanctity. That's what we stand for. That is what we are meant to do. And I think something very special that comes up later in our Parsha reflects that excellently. That in the middle of Revi, where it starts to go through the list of the Karbanot, we get up to this random list of mitzvot of Leket Shechinapeah, what is supposed to be left behind for the Aniyim. The corn of the field, the leftover gleanings. And Rashi asks a prominent question. If in the list of all the holidays, you have these three mitzvahs, why are they there? They're not a holiday. If they were before, I could understand. If they were after, potentially I could understand. Why in between? Right? In the language of Rashi, Amar Omdrimas bar Yossi, מה ראה כתוב לינתם באמצע הרגלים פסח ועצרת מכאן וראש השנה ויום הכיפורים וחג מכאן. You have on the one side of it talks about Pesach, it talks about Shavuot, and it talks about Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur and Chag Sukkot. And on the other side, it has Pesach and Shavuot on one side, and then it has on the other side Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur Sukkot. Why is it smack between this list? למדך שכל הנותן לקט שכפיה לעני כראוי מעלין עליו כאילו בנה בית המקדש וקריב עליו קורבנות בתוכו. I think this is the perfect idea of what it means to have a Kiddush Hashem. How we carry ourselves, not just the rest of the world, but even to our fellow brothers and sisters, is important. It is significant. It reflects the Kedusha of Hashem through us and through what we do in this world. And lo and behold, by us taking care of our fellow Jews, our fellow brothers and sisters, with our own hard work, our own labor, I think that's also why it mentions shortly beforehand the mitzvah of Bikurim. The first of your fruit, the first of your produce, remember, it belonged to Kadosh Baruch Hu. It came from Hashem. That's why Hashem also, in Parshat Emor, told us, again, right after saying to sanctify His name, because He made us holy, that He took us out of Egypt for our purpose. We have unique opportunities here. We are given a bracha. We are given the responsibility and the opportunity. And to quote Uncle Ben, as always, with great power comes great responsibility. We were given immense opportunity, and therefore we were also given immense responsibility. Let's take advantage. Shabbat Shalom.